Yeah, good evening, everyone. Last session, I given overview about some basic things what we are going to discuss in this session, right? I hope everyone is clear. Any doubts about what we discussed yesterday? Any doubts are there from people online? Is it everything clear? Offline, you are clear? Online people, you have any doubts related to what we have discussed yesterday? I will give just a summary. Yesterday, yeah, no problem. Even you joined today, I will just give you an overview of what we discussed. I will that is what you are going to learn, how SPA resolves all the issues. That is what the course about. Right. Yep. So yesterday I given you some points related to the issues what you have. Yeah, anything doubts you can get back towards the end. Okay, right. Yeah, let me give you a summary of what we discussed yesterday. So yesterday I given you overview of what are the challenges. What are the challenges in modern web development? Remembered? What are the challenges in modern web development? Remember those points? So we are developing applications for web from several years. But what is the new challenge we are facing as web developer? Right? What are the challenges? Remembered those points? What are those? One is unified user experience. What is meant by unified user experience? Unified user experience means across every device, application should have same functionality. We call that as unified user experience. So another, fluid user experience. Fluid user experience means user will stay on only one page and gets access to everything onto the page. Another important, loosely coupled and extensible. Loosely coupled and extensible, without disturbing the application, we must able to add new features into application. Easily application should extend its functionality without any failure, right? That is loosely coupled and extensible. Now another, the solution. What is solution? What is solution? Better to build what kind of applications? Better to build single page applications, SPA, right? Single page application. That is what you are going to learn. Single page applications, how they can handle all these issues, how we can achieve unified experience, how we can achieve fluid experience, that you are going to learn by using single page. Now the question is how to build single page applications. How to build single page applications? We can use JavaScript and jQuery also. JavaScript and jQuery can build single page application, but we have problems with JavaScript and jQuery. DOM manipulations, lot of references, all these are the issues. So for building single page applications, you are learning the technology like React and Angular. We have so many. So I am going to give the difference between these two, right? What is React and what is Angular? right? Let's see the point. That means you are coming here to learn React JS. That means React means you are learning what kind of applications? Single page applications. That means we are going to build what kind of applications? Single page. The target of learning React or Angular like technology is to build single page applications. Now the question here is, what is difference between React and Angular? This is the key point we have to understand. Today we will see that. Yesterday I discussed all this. Yesterday I given you overview of the course and overview of these topics. Now today we will see detailedly. So what is difference between Angular and React? What is difference between Angular and React? That is what we are going to learn. So first important point, the difference between Angular and React is actually React is a library. React is a library and Angular is a developer's platform. And you can say framework. React is a library and Angular is a developer's platform and framework. So if anyone asks what is difference between Angular and React, the first point is Angular, people know Angular as framework and React as library. And actually people know Angular as only framework, but it is more than framework. It is a developer's platform. And React is just a library. React is just a library. Then what is difference between library and framework? What is difference between library and framework? I will show you. See, actually you see the official websites. So that means look at the official websites here. This is reactjs.org. This is the official website. It says that React is a JavaScript library. It is a JavaScript library. Sometimes people have a wrong idea. They talk like React framework. React is not framework. React based frameworks are there. Yesterday I explained like Next.js, Gatsby. These are frameworks of React. React is not framework. Right? Many people have wrong idea. React is not framework. React is a library. React is a library. Angular is a framework. So for a general software developer, everybody as a software developer minimum have a knowledge of library and framework. Means a common software developer knows the difference between library and framework. If you don't know, I will explain. But anybody, he calls himself as software developer, means he must know the difference between library and framework. What is language, what is library, what is framework? These are common things for software developers, right? In the software industry, anybody calls himself as software engineer, software developer, he knows the difference between language, library and framework. If you don't know, let me explain what is difference, right? Because it is a general thing, every software designer knows it. What is difference between library and framework? We will see that. See, React is a library, so don't call it as framework. If any time, any situation you heard React framework, that means it is not React as framework, React with the frameworks. That means React technology based frameworks are there. Those are called React frameworks. Like yesterday I showed you Next.js and Gatsby, like Parcel and others are there. They are React based. React itself is not framework, it is a library. Okay. And see Angular. This is the Angular. This is official Angular, and it says that it is a web developers platform. It is a developers platform. Many times people say that Angular is a framework, but it is actually more than framework. It is more than framework. What is meant by developers platform? What is meant by developers platform? In software technologies, if any technology says that I am a developers platform, like Angular is a developers platform, .NET is a developers platform. What is meant by developers platform? Developers platform means it will provide end-to-end solution for developer. That means what a developer needs. Actually, developer needs some tools from building, debugging, testing, and deploying. That means software development includes 4 phases: na? Building application, debugging application, testing application, and deploying. For that, we have to use different tools. We have to use different tools. For example, which is testing tool for Java? Java, .NET, other technologies, PHP, Python, they have to use third-party testing tools. For testing, they have to use separate frameworks. That means they don't have their frameworks. They have to depend on separate frameworks. For deploying, for testing, everything needs integration, third parties. But if any technology is providing end-to-end solution from building to deploying, everything it is having, then it is called developers platform. It is called developers platform. So if any technology says that I am developers platform, that means I have solution for end to end, from building to deploying, everything we have. So that is the reason Angular calls itself as a developers platform, but it is actually framework. Along with framework, it is better to say as a developers platform. Then what is difference between library and framework? So see, this is the first point actually. Then many times people ask the question, what is difference between library and framework? Library and framework, this is the doubt comes. What is difference between library and framework? I will tell you what is difference between library and framework. Means here, you see here, see, let's take one simple example. So difference between the library and framework, let's see one simple example. Here we are developing a simple web application. We are developing a web application. In this web application, suppose in this web application, we are using a library to build the application. We are using a library. We are using a library to build that application. We are using the library. Then what happens is, this application means the first step. What happens here is, first step is the page loads into memory. The page loads into memory. That means actually you can say page loads into browser. After page loads into browser, next step, what happens is, it loads static DOM. It loads the static DOM, document object model. If you are not having good idea of DOM, later I will explain. In React, I will tell you what is DOM, what is virtual DOM, shadow DOM. These are very important. I will discuss about that. But every HTML people, I think, know about DOM, document object model. It loads the static DOM. After loading the static DOM, then it loads library. It loads the library. That means we are building an application with library. So then first page loads into browser, then it loads the static DOM. After loading the static DOM, it loads library. After loading the library, very important here, the problem is after loading the library, actually library is passive. Library is passive means library is not active. Library is passive, that means it is not active. If library is not active, then what we have to do is, if library is not active, then application is not responding. Then what happens is browser uses events to make the library active. To make the library active, browser uses events to make the library active. That means on load, on click, on change, on blur, on focus, all these are the events. Browser uses the events to make the library active. Once the library is active, now the static DOM is converted into dynamic DOM. Now the static DOM is converted into dynamic DOM. That means now application starts functioning. This is the process, generally how it works. That means we built an application, and in that we are using a library. And when we are using a library, first page loads into memory, browser. After loading the page into browser, the library loads into browser. Page is ready, DOM is ready, library is also ready, but library is not taking control over the page. That means library is not taking control over the page, over the DOM. That means it is not responding to you. We have to explicitly make the library active. You have to explicitly make the library active. We have to make the library active by using events like on load, on change, on blur, and all these things we have to do. Once you make the library active, it will convert the static DOM into dynamic. So library can build application, but library cannot control the application flow. When to collect the value, when to update the value, when to make the changes, it don't know. We have to do that manually by using a set of events. So libraries can build application but cannot control the application flow. That is the reason you need a framework. I will show you this practically. You need a framework. That is the reason. Suppose you are learning Java, .NET, PHP, Python, any technology. You went to interviews with that knowledge of Java, .NET, PHP. First question they ask, along with Java, what frameworks you have learned? That is the first question. What frameworks you have learned? Java people have to learn frameworks like Spring, Hibernate, like microservices, right? And .NET people have to learn a framework like ASP.NET, ASP.NET MVC. Python people have to learn frameworks like Django, Flask, Grok. PHP people have to learn frameworks like Code Igniter, because a developer is incomplete without frameworks. Learning a language and a library is not enough for building application. Building application requires two stages: building the application, controlling the application flow. You are responsible for building application after learning a library or a language, but you are not responsible for handling its flow. That is under the control of framework. So a library is not enough for application. You need a framework. But very important, your technologies are already using various frameworks. They just need a help of library to build effective interfaces. That means React is a framework or library. React is a framework or library. React is a library. So can it control application flow? No. No, it cannot control application flow. That means React can build application. It can build application. It can build effective interfaces, but it cannot control application flow. For that, you need help of other frameworks. React based frameworks are there. Just yesterday I explained like Neutrino and frameworks like Gatsby. You have other frameworks. We have to use those frameworks. Then React will be effective. Only React cannot do that. React is just a library. That means already your project is using some frameworks. Your project is already having a framework, Java, .NET, PHP, Python. You just need a library to build effective single page interface. Then you can take help of React. Then you can take help of React. That is the reason. See, the React people tells that when I go to React, they tell that it is for see the word building, only building. It is a library for building, not controlling the application flow. Right? They clearly tell you that it is a library for building. Right? That means it is libraries are responsible for only building. That means now for whom React is good? For what kind of projects React is good? So React is good. React is good for the projects which already having some frameworks like Java, Spring, Hibernate, microservices. .NET is using ASP.NET, MVC and all. They already have frameworks. They want only to build effective interface as single page interface, which they don't have in their technology. Then they will take help of React. That is the reason Java, .NET, PHP, Python, every technology developer learns React. Have to know React. Have to know React. Compulsory, mandatory. If you are a Java developer, React compulsory. .NET developer, React compulsory. In the current generation, interface is built with React. Now another point is there. Another point is, if you don't have a framework, you don't have a framework in your technology working, you want to take help of a client side framework again, then better to go with Angular, because Angular is a framework. Because Angular is a framework. What is the ability of framework? We will see now. What is the ability of framework? I will show you. Now we are developing a web application. We are developing web application. This web application is now designed by using framework. Is designed by using framework. Right? Now what happens here? So in the next step, yeah. What happens here is the same concept. First, page loads into browser, same. After the page loading into browser, next step what happens is, next step, it loads static DOM into browser. That is also same. After loading static DOM into browser, then it loads framework. It loads framework. Then once the framework is loaded, what is the specialty of framework is, by default framework is active. By default framework is active. It will take control of your application. Without using extra events. The static DOM is converted into dynamic DOM. it is converted into dynamic DOM. The static DOM is converted into dynamic DOM. Without using some extra events, the static DOM is converted into the dynamic DOM. That's what happens here. That is what it is going to deal with, right? The static DOM converted into dynamic. Now framework is active. It takes control over your application. I will show you practically. I will show you. See the concept here. This is the basic point you need to understand. What is difference between a library and framework? Generally, for an ordinary learner, if you ask what is framework, he will immediately say framework is a set of libraries, right? Okay, that is, everybody know that framework is a set of libraries, but the main concept difference between the library and framework: library is for building application, and framework is for both building and controlling the application flow. Framework can do two things: it can build the application, it can control the application flow, whereas library can only build the application. It can build the application and control the application flow. It can control the application flow. That means, you see here, I will show you one practical example. Just observe. Don't worry about what I am doing here. Just see the concept. Don't worry what I am doing here. Just see the concept. I will show you one simple point. Means I will show you the difference between library and framework. One simple example I will show you here. See, I am using, a small difference I will show you here actually. I will use here a page. I am creating library, lib.h. I am creating a HTML page. You see here, I am writing a HTML page, doc type HTML, head, title. So this is library. In this page, I am using a library called jQuery. I will use a library called jQuery, node_modules. In that jQuery dist.js, I am using jQuery library. I am using jQuery, which is a library. Okay, you see here, I have the body section, and here I have, so your name and input type is equal to text, and ID is user name. Okay, and here in the next line, I put a heading. I say hello, and inside this we have a span. Now, my concept is very simple. I want to collect the value coming from text box, and I need to display here inside the span. Span have an ID called some message, MSG. Now this is jQuery. It is a library. I am writing a script here. I am writing a script here. Script. Okay. I am writing a script here. So here I am writing a script. So I am writing a jQuery script. Okay, just observe. I am writing a small logic. The logic is nothing but whatever value, that means access that MSG, hash MSG into that .html, into that we want to display whatever value entered in username text box. Whatever value entered, we have to display. Just like your JavaScript, it uses get element by ID, value, and display. Here I am writing some functionality. You see, this is a library now. Observe only the concept. Don't worry what I am writing. Just observe the concept. Let's run this program. When I run this, first step, what happened is the page is loaded. After page is loaded, the DOM is also loaded. You can see when I go to inspect here, you can see in the inspect, I will go to network and I will refresh here, and you can see it says that page is loaded. You see the DOM content loaded. That means page is loaded, the DOM is loaded. After DOM is loaded, you see library is also loaded. You see this script. Library is also loaded. Library also loaded, but observe carefully when I am typing something here, when I am typing something here, I am typing something here, it's not working. That means page is ready, DOM is ready, and library is also loaded, but library is not working. Because you see, the library is loaded, this library is loaded, but this is not active, it is passive. It is not active, it is passive. That means now what I have to do is I have to tell when to update this message with username. When to update that message with username when user is typing the message inside text box. While typing, I need to update. Then we need to use lot of events. You see what I will do now. I have to write event. What is that event? Hash username dot key up. You know that JavaScript have a key up event. Am I right? On key up, I have to do this. That means we need an event to make the library active. We need an event to make the library active. Now I am using an event. Now you can see when I am typing, it is working fine. That means page is loaded, DOM is loaded, library is loaded, but library not working. Library is inactive. We have to make the library active. For that, we need to depend on a lot of events. That is the problem with the library. Even in React also, we have this problem. Even in React also, you have to depend on events. Even in React also. Only the point is it simplifies. You have simple techniques, you have faster techniques, but here also it is library, same headache. That means React is also a library. Any technology which says it is a library, you have to follow the same. But in a different way, we have to handle that. I will show you. But technically, this is the problem with library. Let's see the same with framework. Let's see the same with framework. Okay, I will do one thing. Here I will install Angular framework. I'm installing some Angular framework. Don't worry, just see, right? What I am typing is not important for you. Just see. Now observe carefully. Here I will design another page. Framework.html. Okay, I'm designing another page, doc type HTML head title. This is framework. And we are using some body. And here we are saying name. So yeah, name. And here I will put a text box, input type text. And here I will put a break and say hello. And I want to display that name. I want to just display the name, some span here, same concept. But this time here I am not using a library. I am using node modules here. I am using Angular.js. It is a framework. What is the specialty of framework? Framework builds the application and it can easily control the application flow. Actually, see here, I want the framework means the body. That means Angular should take control over body. Then we will just write ng app. Whatever entered in text box, we will use ng model. So is equal to username. And here we will display that username. I am using that username. Am I using any event here? Are there any events here? There are no events. On key up, on change, nothing events are there. Am I using any functions here? I am not using any functions here. Now see here, what I am doing here is I am typing the name here. I am typing the name. It is working. It is working. I am not using any events. There is no key up, no key change, no events, nothing. No element by ID, tag name, anything. The ability of framework is internally, it is handling the concept of, actually later you will learn so many frameworks are there. I will tell you an idea about the frameworks. What is the specialty is Angular internally uses a framework called MVC. MVC, Model View Controller. Model identifies where data is and controller picks the data and updates the data to view. View means interface. That framework is responsible for controlling the data flow. That means pick the data and display the data. You don't need any events. It will use a framework in the background which already designed with such functionality. That means library, you have to build everything. Framework is readily built. You have to just implement. Framework allows you to control the flow of application. Now that is the difference between a library and framework. That means now tell me which one is better, a library or framework? Which one is better, a library or framework? A library is good or a framework is good? What is good? Actually, a framework is good because it can build and control the application flow. But in real world environments, we have separately frameworks working in our technology. We are already having the frameworks using in our technology to control the flow. To control the flow, we already have framework. We don't need another framework in the front end. We just need a library to build the application in the front end. In that case, which one is best? Library. That means already your technology is using framework in the backend. Java, .NET, PHP, Python. They are already using a framework and they are having rich functionality in that framework. Their main concentration is only front-end effective interface, building effective interface. They don't want to control the flow in the front end also. In that case, library is best. That means which one is best? React is best. React is best. But sometimes they minimize the work of server side. Server side limited. They will give limited functionality. Client side, they want to control the entire flow. That means these days, lot of work is given client side. Client side, we have to control the entire flow. Then better to go with Angular. Go with Angular. That is the reason yesterday I showed you, if you are looking for Java jobs, .NET jobs, Python jobs with experience, then compulsory some projects will ask Java with Angular, some projects will ask Java with React. That is the reason for a developer, it is not a choice, either React or Angular. For a software developer, it is not choice, React or Angular, React and Angular. You need knowledge of both to maximize your opportunities. In companies, if you want to maximize the opportunities for jobs, you need to have knowledge of both. Understood? Otherwise, you will be restricted only for the projects where they are working on Angular, or only for the projects they are working on React. You will be restricted for that. Right? That is the reason for a software developer at experience level, it is not a choice whether to go with React or to go with Angular. Both are compulsory. Both are mandatory for a software developer. That is the reason already I showed you. Yesterday we saw that this is the Naukri site, right? In this Naukri site, I am searching for Java full stack developer, something full stack developer. And you can see Java full stack developer. In many of these roles, they ask AngularJS. AngularJS is old, Angular is new actually. That means in some technologies, some Java requirements, you see lot of here, the requirements. So Java and Angular, they're asking Java and Angular. This is Oracle. Oracle is asking for Java developer. And they want with Angular. And when you go here, some companies will ask for React. That means they will ask for React JS. So you actually in the details, they might have mentioned both Angular and React, right? We are just using only outline, right? When you look at so many skills, you can filter. I will modify this to directly get Java developer React, and you can see so many requirements will come with React JS. With React JS, that means you have both requirements. We need React JS library, right? So that is full stack Java with React. Especially they ask, that means you people will be fit for such type of jobs. Java with React, .NET with React, Angular with PHP with React, Python with React, or they are asking for only React developers, MERN stack developers. Your role will fit in those by learning React, right? But this is not only the choice, right? You have to learn both actually. But that is the difference between library and framework. This diagram I will give to you. I will upload this diagram to you. So I will share online classroom code at the end of the session. You can join that class so that you will get the notes of detailed everyday topics. Okay. But here I hope everyone understood the difference. Got clarity, right? So what is difference between library and framework? Clear? Library is for building application, and framework can build and control the application flow. So what is React JS or React? React JS we call as React. What is React JS? It is a library suitable for building interfaces. That means you can simply say here I will simply give the point difference between library can build application. So framework can build and control the application flow, right? So then what is React? Now you know the meaning. So React is a JavaScript library. So for building what? User interface. And what kind of user interface? That means that user interface is a single page application interface. That means it can give fluid experience. It can give unified experience. It can give loosely coupled and extensible architecture, so that you can build application interfaces. That means it is good for building user interface, but it is not good in controlling the application flow. That is the reason React is used with extra frameworks again. React is used with extra frameworks. For example, you see, yesterday I showed you React is used with extra frameworks. Like we use the frameworks like Next.js. Next.js is a very popular framework used for creating static server-side rendering applications with React. That means React is not framework. React uses some frameworks. Frameworks like what? Next.js. It uses frameworks like Gatsby. It uses frameworks like Nutrio, like NX, like Parcel, like Razor. Others I will tell you, they are not just frameworks. Different functionalities are there. And not only that, React is used with other very big frameworks. I hope you heard about them. React is used with frameworks like Ionic. Ionic is a framework which is used for building mobile applications. You see, now in React, and Ionic is very popular for building mobile applications. That means Ionic is very good for building mobile applications. This is good for building Android, iOS applications. Not only Ionic, we have like native script. This is native script. Native script is also good for building applications. Native script is also good for building applications. And see, flavor you love, choose the flavor you love, means you can use React or you can use Angular. That means React and Angular are not just enough for every purpose. They need some additional support, right? That is the reason React is not a framework. React is a library. And React uses various frameworks. Now the question here is, what are the features of React? What are the features of React? That means how React is good, how React is good for others. That means how React is good for building applications. What are its key features? Let's see. That means what are the key features of React? So the point is, already I told you, right? What is difference between Angular and React? Angular is framework or developers platform and React is library. That means I am not giving any technical internal differences. That is for the people who already know React and Angular. People who know Angular, for them we can tell React uses this, Angular uses this, but those differences I will teach you at the end. Once you finish learning React, then you will able to identify technical difference also. Means internal programming difference also you will see that. But as of now, it's no need to hurry into this. We need to just understand what is difference between library and framework, right? Next, what are the features of React? So what are the key features of React? The first important feature is React is component based. React is component based. The one important feature is React is component based. Yesterday already I told you. So for building single page applications, it must be component based. It must be component based. Components means yesterday already I showed you one example. In HTML, we have a date picker. Like for example, I will show you one example. Suppose component is not a new concept. Suppose you see Amazon. I opened Amazon. In Amazon here, there is a sliding banner. There is a sliding banner. Do you know what it is called? It is a component. It is a component. Do you know what it is called? It is called carousel. Carousel. If you want a website with carousel, will you design this again? If you want your website to have such carousel, will you design like this animation? Will you design? No, we don't design. Already ready-made designed. By whom? Bootstrap. A Bootstrap library is present, which is already designed component called carousel. We just bring that, implement in our project, make the changes according to our requirement. That means everything you don't need to build. So we have ready-made. You just need to implement them and handle. See, actually, if you have awareness on Bootstrap, this is Get Bootstrap. In Bootstrap, you go to documents, you will find there is a components. You see, there is components. These are all components. Accordion, alerts, badges, these are all components. To build an application, you can save a lot of time by using components. Components are building blocks for application. That means here, for example, I will show you Netflix. Netflix is officially designed with React. Netflix is officially designed with React. It belongs to React.js. Means it is designed with React.js. And you see in this Netflix, You see, this is a component. You know, this component is called as, we call this as accordion. We call this as accordion. It is the name of a component, accordion. If I have to design like this, I will not design manually. I will just bring the component and put it. We have ready-made components. We can create reusable components so that development will be very easy. For example, you observe in this website, this is registration form. This form I want again somewhere bottom. Then will you design 2 times? We will not design 2 times. We design as a reusable component and we inject and use everywhere where we want. Earlier, to do such things, we have to depend on lot of jQuery AJAX. Explicitly, we have to use lot of AJAX to do such things. But now we can simply handle that by using ready-made features that you are going to learn. What is the advantage of component-based environment? Easy to build interfaces. Easy to build interfaces. Another one, easy to reuse. Easy to reuse. So easy to build interface, right? Easy to build interface and easy to reuse. Easy to reuse. We can easily reuse. That means component based. That means it makes building faster. It makes building faster. That means easy to extend. Easy to extend. It becomes very easy to extend your UI. Your UI is having certain functionality. You can add another functionality just by adding a component. It is loosely coupled and it is easily extensible. That means it is loosely coupled, loosely coupled and extensible. Being a component based technology, any technology which is component based, it will have these abilities. It is easy to build the interfaces. We can easily reuse the interfaces. We can build the interface faster because we don't need to rewrite again and again. And it is easy to extend. Already it is having 2 functionalities. One more functionality I want to add, simply push a new component. Everything we can do that. That is one major advantage of component based. The main advantage of component based is easy to build and this. Another important point here is, another key feature is it uses, that means it is modular library. It uses a modular library. What is meant by modular library? It uses a modular library. What is meant by modular library? What is opposite to modular? It uses a modular library. What is modular? Actually, we have 2 types of libraries. We have 2 types of libraries. We have a modular library. I will save this. Okay. We have a modular library. Generally, I will tell you a simple approach here so you can understand. See, a small concept I will show you here. Suppose you are using a library. Just your way of understanding, I will tell you. For example, jQuery we are using, or let's say bootstrap dot some JS. It's a JavaScript file. In this JavaScript file, we have the logic for buttons. We have the logic for alerts. We have the logic for accordion. We have the logic for pagination. So many are there. Now, very important, in your page, this is your page. You are using only accordion. Only accordion you are using, and you are importing a library which is having all these, but you are using only accordion. Don't you think this is heavy with all other unnecessary things? Am I right? That means you are using only one option but you are importing a library having all features. That means even for a small functionality, you are importing entire library, which is heavy for application. This is what modular is. Modular means it will load only the library that is needed for that application. Modular, application specific library, so that it will improve the performance of application. It will make the application lightweight. It will not load everything which is not required. It will load only which is required. Actually, every technology don't have this approach. They started recently. Even you are a Java developer, .NET developer, PHP or Python developer, you will learn in Java, .NET like technologies. Earlier they are legacy type. Java, .NET are legacy. From recent years only, they are making Java modular library. They are making .NET modular library from past few years. Earlier we have legacy libraries for every technology. For every technology we were having legacy libraries. Legacy libraries. The problem with legacy libraries, entire library is required even to handle a small functionality. What is the modular library approach? The modular library advantage is, so application specific library. It improves the performance of application. So application, it makes the application lightweight application. That means unnecessarily it will not load everything. It loads only what is needed for that situation. So that is what modular library is. That is important. Another important is asynchronous library. Asynchronous library. What is the concept of asynchronous? If you have learned JavaScript, jQuery, you have to use asynchronous externally. We have to use asynchronous externally. But React have several functionalities asynchronous. Internally, it can manage asynchronous. What is asynchronous? Asynchronous means, for example, we have certain actions here. Suppose, what is synchronous and asynchronous? Suppose we have A, we have B, we have C. Like this, we have some options A, B, C, and some features are there. Okay. Now what happens is, this A, it is 5 MB. This B is suppose this is B 10 KB. And this is suppose 2 MB. Like this we have. Now what happens is, from client side, we are making a request to read all of the 3 one by one. Then we make a request. First request goes to A. It is 5 MB. It is taking time. If it is taking time, will it go to B or wait until the complete of A? Generally, applications are synchronous. Synchronous means it will wait until A is finished. 5 MB of A is loaded. After A is finished, then it will go to B. That means if it is taking time, it will wait until it is finished. Then only it will go to next. But asynchronous is not like that. Asynchronous means it will make a request. If it is taking time, it will make a request to second. After that, it will make a request to third. Which request is ready, that request will come first. That will come first. It will not wait for request. This is asynchronous. Asynchronous will not make the task to wait for other tasks. It will do all simultaneously. This improves the performance and speed of application. Because it is asynchronous. Actually, in JavaScript, jQuery, you have to depend on lot of AJAX, but React implicitly uses AJAX. It implicitly uses AJAX. We can explicitly use AJAX also, but it implicitly uses AJAX. Many people who don't have this idea, don't know about this, they generally ask, will you teach Ajax in React? That is like, we have to laugh at that point, right? What you are talking, either you know about it or don't know about it. So it is not like teaching Ajax in React, right? First you should know what is Ajax, first you should know what is React. If you have a clarity, then talk, right? People don't have this basic knowledge and they come and ask, will you teach Ajax in React, right? That means React itself is asynchronous. It is using asynchronous library. That means implicitly it is using Ajax for various interactions. So that means there is nothing concept like you have to learn Ajax here. Here everything is a library. That means built with asynchronous. Asynchronous. It uses Ajax calls. It uses Ajax interaction. Can we use explicitly Ajax? Yes, you can. Is it required? No, it is not required because it is implicitly asynchronous, right? You can just use implicit Ajax methods, just those methods which use implicitly Ajax. They can handle everything implicitly. That is the advantage. That means what happens is, without reloading complete page, without reloading complete page, new details are added to page. Without reloading the complete page, the new details are added to page. That's what actually asynchronous makes. That means it partial postbacks. That's what people do with Ajax in general. So React configures. So modular library, it configures. Asynchronous library, it is component based. Another very important about React, very major feature about React is React uses virtual DOM. This is important. This is the major concept. Generally in interviews also they ask this very much. That means React uses virtual DOM. Now for that, to understand what is virtual DOM, first you need to understand few important things. To understand virtual DOM, you have to learn these points. What is DOM? First you should know it. And you should know is how DOM renders. You should know how DOM renders. You should know what is shadow DOM. And you should know what is virtual DOM. And you should know finally the difference between you will already get a clarity, the DOM, the shadow DOM, and virtual DOM, because React is going to use the virtual DOM. That means to understand what is a virtual DOM, first you should know what is DOM. I hope people coming from the background of HTML already know what is DOM, because in HTML you will learn about DOM, how HTML works, you know that, right? And how the DOM renders, what is shadow DOM and what is virtual DOM, and what is difference between DOM, shadow DOM, and virtual DOM. These are very important for React. You cannot call yourself as a React developer if you don't know what is virtual DOM, right? And you will fail in majority of interviews if you don't have an answer for this, because in every interview you will have to know, you have to answer this, what is virtual DOM. At an experience level, they will ask some details about virtual DOM. You should know about it. That means we need to know the clarity of DOM, shadow DOM, and virtual DOM. I hope everybody know what is DOM, right? You learned in HTML, JavaScript what is DOM, and you know what is shadow DOM. So if no problem, I will give an idea here. I will give an overview of what is DOM and shadow DOM and virtual DOM, because without that you are not a React developer. That means you must have knowledge of these three things, that we will see in our next session tomorrow. Okay, I hope you are clear with this. Tomorrow we will finish the introduction part. Then tomorrow we will start practical. Practical means we will start how to install, setup and work with React, practically working after understanding the features and drawbacks. Okay, then in tomorrow's session, don't miss tomorrow's session. That is important for React, because in tomorrow's session we are going to learn the key feature of React, that is what is virtual DOM. I will give a complete clarity on what is DOM, shadow DOM and virtual DOM. Tomorrow we'll learn about that. Is it clear? Right. So I will do one thing. I will post a Google Classroom code to you. 1 second. I will share a Google Classroom code where I will upload all the classroom related step-by-step notes, including some demo videos, previous videos. I will post that. I will post that. Yep. So this is the copy. This is the Google Classroom code for offline people. Online people I will upload here. This is the classroom code. This is both. This is the classroom code. You can copy this. Here I will upload all the classroom related notes. I hope everyone got it. You can join with this Google class code also. Everything got this? Here I will upload all the classroom related notes. Whatever we discuss in these sessions, I will upload everything here. Okay. Then tomorrow we will continue with this. And tomorrow we will discuss about DOM, the key concepts of React. Then we can start practically working with React also from tomorrow. Okay. Right. Yes. What is your doubt, Swati? Yes, anyone you have doubts, you can unmute yourself and you can talk.
Hi, sir. Hello, sir.
One second.
Hello, sir.
Hi, sir.
Hello.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Yes.
Sir,
Yes, Hari
in
Babu,
this
what is
course,
your doubt?
sir, in this
Hello,
course,
sir.
have project includes or not, sir?
Yes.
In this course includes project or not, sir?
What do you mean by project?
Project mean like real-time project, anything?
It is a sample application we will build. Okay, na? End-to-end application.
Okay, okay, sir.
Ah.
Thank you, sir.
Mm.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, sir. Sir, I right now I am selected in Infosys as a system engineer, and they allocated me the React developer,
Okay.
and also they teach me the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But sir, JavaScript, HTML was so weak, sir.
You must have knowledge
So
of JavaScript. Without that,
yeah,
you can't attend.
sir, I have basic knowledge, not a huge knowledge.
Basic knowledge, it's okay to start, but finally you must have complete knowledge. Okay.
Okay, okay, sir.
Initially you can
So, sir,
start. There is no problem.
okay, okay, thank you,
Ah.
sir.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Viresh.
Can we use React and Angular together in one project?
Yes, we can use. We can. Yes.
Uh,
One more question. I am Manoj here. So,
Yes,
how many
Manoj.
does this learning means the training process will be continue?
Yes. Yes, please.
How many days this training will be
It
continued?
will take 50 sessions, 45 to 50.
Okay, 45. So, it will be 45 days SRC.
Huh.
Right. So, Saturday, Sunday, it will be. In the
Saturdays
class.
it will be there. Sunday we will not have.
Okay. So, weekly it will have 6
Weekly
days.
6 days.
Okay, so this is continuing at the same time, right?
Same time,
7:30
7:30 to 8:45. Huh?
Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, actually, yesterday you told like that there is a complete course content will share through the mail, but we didn't watch it. Yes, what exactly?
Yes. You are not clear. Can you be a little bit loud and clear?
Hello. I'm
Yes.
audible? Yeah. So yesterday you told like that whole content, what we need to learn in this course, right? Content. I need that content, sir.
Rupesh, you are completely low in your voice. Right.
He's asking for course content.
Course content. Yes, our admin will send you the course content. Okay. Our admin will send you to your registered emails the course content. Huh?
Okay.
Sir, hello.
Yes.
Sir, you said the both together we can use. So how can we NG server or NPM start?
Different pages. Every page can use a framework separately.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, sir. Hi, my name is Chetan. I'm
Yes,
parallelly giving the interview for the React, but I don't have that much confidence in the React. That's why I joined this narrated classes. One question was asked in the interview that many people will new, but I'm not getting the answer. Can multiple stores be used in a React? And if yes, like what is the need of multiple stores?
What is mean by store first?
Stores that is in the Redux concept, like if can we use the multiple store?
Obviously, an application have multiple state management techniques, right? Right.
But for
can you name multiple? Can you name
the multiple reducers, right? Instead of in one store, multiple reducers.
You are very much confused about first what you are asking. Huh?
Okay.
So you are asking, are multiple stores possible? I said yes.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Right. What is your next question?
No, sir. That was my only.
Yeah, Sudhakar, Nagul here.
Yes, Nagul.
Yeah, see, I have basic knowledge on UI technology. So can I learn this React?
JavaScript knowledge is required.
Yeah, basic JavaScript knowledge only I'm having.
See, you can learn, but later you may face issues with your interviews because 60% JavaScript questions only in React interviews will happen, even for experience.
Okay.
So you can learn now, but make sure that you are perfect in JavaScript meanwhile, simultaneously.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks,
right?
Sudhakar.
Yeah.
Hi, sir. Ravi this side.
Yes.
So I have very basic question. Like, see, Angular JS and Angular are different.
Yes.
Yeah, similarly, likewise, so React.js and React are
No,
different. Both are
React.js, React, both are same. We call as React, we ignore JS. Okay.
got it. And also one other thing. See, I'm a SharePoint developer. Right now, currently, I started working in the SharePoint framework.
Okay.
Recently. So in the SharePoint framework, we are going to build with React. It's going to
Yes.
start.
Obviously, you will use in portal systems.
Yeah. So there we have option using React. So these both are same, right?
Same.
In the framework.
Same. That is, your portal interfaces are React only, right?
Yeah.
That is React only. React.js same.
Like while building the framework, it will ask us what are we are going to use, like Node.js
See,
or React.
React is not framework. It's just a library, as I discussed it today.
Yeah,
Your company will be using some additional frameworks to satisfy certain functionalities according to project, right? Node.js is server side. Okay. It is server side for configuring, creating APIs, interacting with the databases and all. Okay. React is only front end.
Got it.
Right.
And one last thing.
Yes.
So tomorrow's class I will not be available. So those recordings
because
will
tomorrow
be,
is demo sessions. Demo sessions, I will upload the videos, but regular classes we don't upload the videos. Okay.
No, only for tomorrow's class.
It's
that
fine.
will be uploaded.
It's fine. But tomorrow's up to demo sessions, all videos we will upload. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Right.
Thanks.
You can go through that even you missed it.
Okay.
Right.
Thanks.
Sir, I'm a 6 p.m. batch student. Can I continue the React batch, sir?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Hi, sir.
Yes.
Sir, in this course lo React with TypeScript and చెప్తారా?
We will learn both. React with JavaScript first. After that, we will learn TypeScript. Then with TypeScript, we will learn React. Okay.
Okay. Redux కూడా ఉంటుంది సార్ ఈ కోర్స్ లో?
Yes, we will learn Redux also.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, can you discuss with all the framework with React?
All frameworks with React, how it is possible? You are asking too much, na?
What?
Right? You are saying that teach every framework with React. This course is about React. Whatever frameworks I teach you for React, it's not necessary that you will work on those only, right? I will give introduction to various frameworks used with React. Okay. Our course is about React. Okay.
Okay.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, how many days it will take to complete the course?
45 to 50 sessions.
Sir, sure, na, sir, because I have to go to the office.
Yes, 45 to 50 sessions, it will finish. I already told yesterday that up to 45 sessions, your React will finish. I will take sessions on additional frameworks. If you interested people are there, they can continue. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So,
yep.
Hello,
yeah, Rupesh here.
Yes.
Sir, actually, when we can start the practical session? So
tomorrow.
I request you after the completing every practical session. So is there an assignment you provide?
I will provide, but for every session, practical is not required.
Okay.
After learning few topics, then you have to do some exercise, right?
Yeah.
Right. Topic wise, I will give you assignments.
Okay, sir. That is the beneficial.
Right.
Thanks.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yes. Sir, in my previous company, I was working as a mini-stack developer.
Okay.
And currently, I'm working as an Angular developer. So, means I didn't get the chance to work more on HTML and CSS part. And now in my current company, means I'm getting a lot of work related to HTML and CSS. So, is it mandatory to as a front-end developer to learn? So, means to be so much good in HTML and CSS?
Compulsory. How you can say yourself as developer front end without HTML, CSS, right? HTML, CSS, JavaScript are minimum basic requirements for a front-end developer, right?
Yes, sir.
What you are doing, Angular React is making front-end more interactive, but minimum interactive is HTML, CSS, na?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right? You must have compulsory knowledge, good knowledge of, because front-end development is all about presentation. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, sir.
You need to be very strong in HTML, CSS, Bootstrap. So then this Angular React will complement to that, right?
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Yes, Praveen.
Yeah. Sir, in yesterday's class, I said that React is used with the .NET or .NET Core. You will be teaching in last sessions, or you'll be taking examples from starting sessions only?
We will not learn with .NET or any technology. We will learn React as React individually.
Okay.
Right? You can use it with any technology in the backend.
Yeah.
Right? We will not learn with .NET or Java or PHP. We will learn React as an individual technology. Right?
Okay. But later on, you said, in yesterday's class, you said that you will be teaching some.
Means I will show how it is integrated with various technologies at the end. Right?
Okay. Okay.
So that those technology people can handle it. Huh?
Okay. Fine.
Right. Yes.
Hi, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I have basic knowledge on JavaScript, but I don't have the practical knowledge.
See, basic knowledge of JavaScript, you can start learning, right? But you must be strong in JavaScript to call yourself as React developer, okay?
Yes, sir.
Because
Is there any
cracking
yes.
interviews, working for requirements must have complete knowledge. Huh?
Okay, sir. Is there any particular sites for practical knowledge for the JavaScript?
What is particular?
Practical knowledge on JavaScript. Sir.
Compulsory. You must have practical knowledge on JavaScript. Huh? Here we will not learn JavaScript. We will use it. Huh?
Yes, sir. Any suggestion?
You must know at least OOP concepts like functions. Huh? Okay.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. So, sir, you said it's a modular framework. It will load only the required libraries, not all libraries, right? So, how will the browser
dependency
know?
injection? It uses dependency injection and lazy loading mechanism.
Okay.
By using the frameworks like dependency injection and lazy loading, it can load only what is necessary for that application.
Okay, so when we include like
those are frameworks.
page,
you know that any technology can use dependency injection and lazy loading like frameworks. Design patterns, right? There.
Yeah. So in
by implementing those design patterns, you can handle this modular approach.
So React internally has
of course
inbuilt
I
for
hope
the lazy loading.
I hope even in JavaScript you learned module systems. You have an idea on JavaScript modules? No. Acha. Because people who have idea of JavaScript modules, they know that it is already modular only. Right?
So if we include like 3 or 4 JavaScript includes, I mean, in the beginning as a like include libraries. If we are not using any function in that library, it will not load into the browser.
Yeah. You can design using design patterns, and you can make only the library to load or module to load that is being used, right?
So this all happens internally.
Not internally, it is internally handling it. Explicitly also you can manage it. It is not just internally, right?
So this will be the browser which loads all the libraries, right?
No, module system. It is the module system which loads the libraries, not browser. You know common JS, require JS, AMD, UMD systems? Any idea?
I don't have that much
No,
knowledge on JavaScript.
they are JavaScript module systems actually. Right? Those module systems manage. AMD means asynchronous module distribution.
Okay.
It is the module system used by JavaScript based applications to handle these kind of interactions.
Okay.
Once you can go Google and browse for JavaScript module systems, you will get more idea on JavaScript. Huh?
Okay.
That will clear your doubt.
Okay.
But anyhow, you will learn about that in React. You will see it practically. Huh?
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Right. Yes.
Hi, sir. This is Deepthi.
Yes, Deepthi.
Can you please share me the yesterday class link if available?
Yesterday class video I will upload by tomorrow. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Today's and yesterday's demo videos I will upload by tomorrow. Okay. Na?
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Yeah.
Hello, sir. Aditya here.
Yes, Aditya.
Are we going to learn design patterns for the React?
No, design patterns are general programming approaches. Like we will use the design patterns, whatever design patterns we are using, those I will explain. Okay.
Okay.
Obviously, you will be using. See, if you are using a fur, right? It itself is a design pattern. Na?
Correct.
If you are using event, that is a design pattern. Event uses a design pattern called observer. Fur uses a design pattern called iterator. All are design patterns. Without design pattern, there is no software development. But learning all design patterns in one technology is impossible, right? You will come across with few design patterns related to the projects you are building. Those you will learn here. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yes. Anyone else is clear? Everyone clear?
Sir, this is Srinivas.
Yes, Srinivas.
Sir, I have knowledge I have good knowledge in JavaScript.
Okay.
But in real time, I'm facing some issues in interview times.
That means you don't have complete knowledge of JavaScript, right?
Yes, sir. Okay. Sir, when you start the UI technology, sir, so I want to learn the total JavaScript.
UI technologies already so many batches are there. Once you contact admin, they will let you know about the various timings. Huh?
Okay.
Right?
Sir, I want any GitHub link, only JavaScript.
You can ask for such batches because individual JavaScript batches will be happening separately.
Okay.
Right? You can attend them. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Mahesh here, sir. I am from 6 p.m. UI Technologies.
Yes, Mahesh.
So, what do you suggest, sir? Should we attend this class because we haven't started JavaScript?
You can add JavaScript not started, na?
Yes.
Better not to touch this. Okay, you will feel complicated. Huh?
Okay, sir. So should we register for next batch? That's
yes,
what you suggest.
Because without JavaScript knowledge, it is not recommended to at least attempt it. Okay, you will be confused. Huh?
Yes. Thank you so much, sir.
Right. Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
When can we expect your next batch, sir, for React?
React, it will take time. Mostly this batch must finish to start next. Because we can have only during 7 a.m. or 7:30 p.m. Only two timings are scheduled because mostly working employees are free during these timings. So we can have only during 7:30 a.m. or 7:30 p.m. Next batch means after this batch only another batch may start.
Actually, I'm already enrolled with the Spring Boot batch, sir. So Will it be a hectic for me for taking both the batches parallelly?
This is only front end, you will feel easy, nothing complicated in this. Huh?
I have bit knowledge about Angular, so will it be easy this batch?
It is easy, you can handle easily, no problem. It will not be an issue. Huh?
Okay, okay, thank you, sir.
Right. Yeah. Okay, everyone, thank you very much. So we will continue in tomorrow's session, and tomorrow we will discuss about other things. Okay. Right. Bye.